All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. Something remarkable is happening right now. We are in the midst of an event that is probably going to shape the rest of the century, and I'm not exaggerating it. Just think about it for a moment. The Islamic Republic of Iran, that burst onto the scene after the 1979 revolution, has been nothing but a migraine for the world. Think about it. Hamas, Hezbollah, Syria, supporting Putin in his war against Ukraine, providing China with cheap oil at the expense of its own people, and above all, hating the West. Death to America, death to Israel, death to Western imperialism. That regime is teetering on the edge. The people of Iran are sick and tired of the brutality of that regime, and they are pleading with Donald Trump to come and intervene, help them out. Now, this is not an appeal to emotion, even though the brutal Islamic regime of Iran, after shutting down the internet, have killed over 12,000 innocent, unarmed protesters, okay? Unarmed. They've got no weapons. They've got nothing on them. And I have seen videos, which I can't obviously show them here. IRGC thugs are just spraying crowds with bullets. Maybe I could show you photos of morgues. Look at this. Khamenei is massacring people by the thousands, bodies piled up on top of each other like sausages. There are so many defections that the evil old man is importing Arab militias from Iraq to massacre his own people. The time to hit the regime is now, because Khamenei knows that his days are numbered. Okay, this is a dying regime. It's falling apart. He knows that there will come a point when the IRGC officials, people under the Khamenei's command, will refuse to take his orders. Some people have already refused to turn up. Some reports are suggesting that Isfahan and Shiraz, they have both fallen to rebels. Look at this. These people are coming in. These people don't speak Persian, but they are going into Iran from Iraq to quell the rebellion. Look at these people. Khamenei is importing Islamists from outside Iran to kill Iranian people. And Iranian people have absolutely nothing. They've got no weapons, no militias, no guns, just their pure, unadulterated anger towards the Islamic regime. Look at this. Iranian people call themselves the most Islamophobic people on earth. They are literally burning down mosques. According to some reports, up to 350 mosques have been burned down so far because they're sick and tired of this Islamic regime. Not only just the Islamic regime, but of the Islamic doctrine. They know, they have seen it firsthand. What happens to your beautiful Western liberal countries when Islam establishes a foothold, which is a warning for the West as well. It is a warning for every single Western country that is sympathetic, that goes soft on these Islamists. We've been providing shelter to Islamists like Muhammad hijabs, and there's so many Islamists spewing the Islamist rhetoric in our countries, in Western liberal democracies, and our governments, our lefty governments, look the other way. That's exactly what happened in Iran. There's a lesson to be learned for everyone. While the regime has shut down the internet, they're telling everyone that, oh, look, the protests are over. We have dealt with the rebellion. Or they're not even calling it a rebellion, but it is clearly a rebellion. This is a revolution taking place right before our eyes, and we are in the middle of it. They're lying to the public. They're uploading AI-generated videos. Let me show you this. They're uploading AI-generated videos. It's been thoroughly debunked. They're using old videos. They are morphing them with AI and just modifying them. Guys, the Islamic regime has totally lost it. If the protests are over, then why haven't they turned the internet back on? It's not over. And let me show you. These are fresh videos which are coming through a very narrow bottleneck of Starlink, okay? Not a lot of people have Starlink, but some videos are still coming out. Look at this. This is after the internet blackout. They're living with the IRGC thugs. These are brave Iranian people. They have no weapons. They're just literally fighting them with their hands. Let me show you this. This is from today. Look at that. And by the way, every protest video that I look at, every single one of them, they're all chanting one thing, Javid Shah, which means long live the king. This is important because I understand a segment of MAGA is saying that, oh, look, we sympathize with the Iranian people, but The United States must not intervene because our record of regime change is not really that great. Yes, the regime change operation failed in Iraq or in Libya or in Afghanistan because there was no central figure to unite the country. Guys, this is different from Libya or Egypt or Iraq. We have a central authority that people are rallying behind. His name is Raza Pahlavi, the crown prince. And the Iranian public are literally pleading with Donald Trump to intervene. I know Donald Trump has said that he will. I believe he's going to intervene, but I am making this video because I think there is a segment of MAGA which is isolationist, no new wars. Even if a firecracker goes off somewhere in the world, they say, oh, World War III, World War III. Please calm down. This is not World War III. Iran has been totally handicapped. It's got no Hamas, it's got no Hezbollah, it's got no Syria, it's got no Houthis. It's been totally weakened. It's the weakest the Islamic regime has ever been. And to make matters worse for the Islamic regime, the people of Iran have had enough. And we kept telling you. Now, I didn't know that this is going to happen one day. We have been hoping for it. I've been keeping an eye on these protests, which break out almost every 2 years or so. I've been watching them since 2017, 2019, 2021, and then Masa Amini, and then the 12-day war. We've been watching them. And every time they will successfully quell the rebellion, we'd be disappointed and move on. But the people of Iran did not stop. They did not stop dreaming about getting rid of the scourge that was imposed on them. Guys, as an ex-Muslim, I think Iran is going to be the first ex-Muslim country. All of these people, they hate Islam. They hate Islamism. Look at this. We showed you these surveys. This survey was done back in 2020, okay? I made a video back then. Only 32% of Iranian people classified themselves as Shia. 22% did not align with any religion. 8% atheists. That's about what, 30%? 7% Zoroastrian, 7% spiritual, agnostics 5.8, which is also like in this category. Spiritual also put in that category. Only 5% Sunni Muslim. Humanists, obviously they can't stand with the Islamist regime. So we knew that this was coming. We always hoped that it would come, but there was no guarantee. But now it's happening. Every Iranian person I speak with now, they're saying this is different. The numbers are unprecedented. They have never seen these numbers. The videos that are coming out of Iran, despite the internet blackout, it's unprecedented. It's never happened before. So how can we let down these brave Iranian people who, by the way, came out initially because of this hyperinflation that is going on, which is because of this pathetic Islamic regime? The Iranian people are different from other Muslim nationalities. They are highly educated, highly urbanized, highly westernized. It was one mistake they made back in 1979. One mistake. And they've been paying for it ever since. And they've been trying to make up for that mistake ever since. They've been trying to overthrow the regime. And the Islamic regime has never been this brutal before. 12,000 people in the span of 48 hours. They're spraying them with bullets indiscriminately. But they are still fighting because President Trump said that if they start killing protesters, then we will hit them hard. Now is the time. And I believe that President Trump is going to hit them hard. I think they're planning. I hope they're planning. He tweeted this just yesterday, probably about 12 hours ago. Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killings of protesters stops. Help is on its way. Make Iran great again, President Donald Trump. I know President Trump wants to help. He hates killings. He hates them. And it's not just charity for Iran, okay? Just look at the bigger picture. Iran has been a thorn in the eyes of the West for a very long time, okay? Hamas, Hezbollah, Bashar al-Assad, threatening an ally, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, just being a nuisance for everyone for the last 47 years. And imagine all you have to do is to bomb some strongholds of the Islamic regime and the Iranian public will take care of the rest. Zoom out even more. Iran is a part of this global alliance against the West, made up of Putin's Russia, Xi Jinping's China, Kim Jong-un's North Korea, and Iran. If you take out Iran, you significantly weaken this anti-West alliance. What more do you want? So it's not just charity. It's in America's interest. It's in the interest of Israel, who, by the way, Benjamin Netanyahu also said that he stands by the Iranian public. But I think Israel has said that they are waiting on the green light from the US. It's the US administration that is holding them off. And isn't that funny that all these goypers, all these anti-Israel people on social media, they keep saying that it's Benjamin Netanyahu who's controlling Trump, when it's actually the other way around. Benjamin Netanyahu would bomb the Islamic regime right now if he had the green light from Trump. But obviously he can't. These people are shamelessly lying. Let me show you another survey. Gaman researchers asked more than 200,000 Iranians. This is a huge survey, guys, about 158,000 of whom live in Iran and 42,000 abroad. The question, Islamic Republic, yes or no? Very simple. Do you like the Islamic regime or not? The vast majority of respondents answered no. 81% of current residents of Iran and 99% of Iranians living abroad. 99%, almost everyone. This is the reason why you never find a pro-Islamic regime person abroad. Not a single one. Why? Why do they all hate the Islamic regime so much? Because they're exiles. They're all victims of the Islamic regime. I'll include the link in the description for all these surveys for anyone who wants to go and read them in detail. So please, the Iranian people need the US. I have always been in favor of the interventionist America, not the isolationist America. I don't like this element of MAGA. I understand that America first, but this is America first. If you get rid of the Islamic Republic, it is in the interest of America. America's biggest enemies are Russia and China. They are the ideological enemies of the free world. If you take out one of their allies, who's been nothing but a thorn in our eyes, what more could you ask for? Now, that's the strategic way of looking at it. But if you want to put your humanitarian hat on, then how can we abandon these beautiful people of Iran? How? They love America. They love the free world. They want to be a part of the free world. They've been looking at how a rich country like Iran, loaded with natural resources like natural gas and oil, living in abject poverty. When they look at Qatar, when they look at Saudi Arabia, when they look at the UAE, they see their living standards are up there. While Iranians are struggling for a loaf of bread, they don't deserve this. And why that is happening? Because these invaders, this Islamic regime, wants to sell cheap oil to China. China, by the way, is obviously exploiting the Islamic regime because nobody would buy oil from the Islamic regime. So they say, oh, we'll buy oil from you, but at a barely break-even cost. And whatever money the Islamic regime makes, it goes to its terror proxies. That's the reason why the Iranian people hate the Palestinian movement, not because they love seeing Gazan children being blown up, or not because Israel is paying 80 million Iranians money to chant slogans in their favor. It's because they've seen it. They've had enough. These are very angry people. I saw a photo of a protester holding a placard saying Javid Shah, meaning long live the king. And he was wearing a pink t-shirt because people were advised to wear dark clothes so snipers can't shoot you. But this is how angry these people are. This is how desperate these people are. He purposefully wore a bright pink t-shirt saying, Javid Shah, come and shoot me. Can you think of giving away your life for any cause like that? You will if you are desperate. We should be getting desperate here too because, you know, we are also being held hostage by lefty governments. I'll talk more about Australia's crackdown on free speech. But, you know, things are not as bad as they have been in Iran for the last 47 years. So strategically, it's in America's interest. But if you want to put your humanitarian hat on, it's the right thing to do morally. MAGA, please stop. Not every firecracker results in World War III. You said the same thing about Russia, Ukraine. This is why I'm pro-Ukrainian. I look at it like this. It's pro-West or anti-West. It's as simple as that. I know this Greenland thing is getting out of hand too, and I really hope that Trump doesn't try to take it by force, okay? We have to stick together. Western forces cannot disintegrate, okay? But that's a topic for another video. But right now, our biggest enemies are Russia, China, North Korea, and the Islamic Republic of Iran, and if we can take them out, you significantly weakened this anti-West alliance. I'm just going to end this video. by playing you this video from an Iranian woman. Have a listen to what she's saying.
Were just murdered by the Islamic regime in the past. 12,000 Iranians were just murdered by the Islamic regime in the past 72 hours. 12,000. That's more than twice the amount of American soldiers killed in the entire Iraq War. If that's not alarming to you, then I don't know what is. When the Islamic Republic cuts off the internet from Iran, Iran goes dark. And the Islamic Republic utilizes this opportunity to massacre innocent protesters while also cutting off any chance they might have at calling for help. When they do bring the internet back, it's fleeting, and only for the sole purpose of mocking the rest of the world. This is the Iranian people's battle. There's no mistaking that. The kids coming out in the streets of Iran have already self-proclaimed themselves as Iran soldiers, as the Crown Prince's soldiers. And this is what's getting them killed, simply supporting a man who wants nothing but secular democracy for Iran, otherwise known as freedom of speech, a right all humans should be naturally entitled to. These courageous individuals are willingly walking out, staring down evil directly in the face while stepping into pools of blood of their fallen brothers and sisters, and yet still refusing to stand down. But in order to successfully overthrow a deadly, theocratic regime that is actively killing civilians, teenagers, and children by the second, there needs to be support. There needs to be action taken against the Islamic Republic, whether that's through increasing sanctions or targeting military bases. If you really listen to the small bits of authentic communication that's coming out of Iran right now, you'll know that the Iranian people are in full support of this. So, to the US administration, understand that you just can't deal with a dictator. The regime needs to fall, and you can help with that, not just for the sake of the Iranian people, but also for the sake of the United States. The Islamic Republic is the #1 sponsor of terrorism worldwide, and with the regime gone, a safer Iran and a safer United States can coexist. Target the Islamic regime and support the transitional leader of the Iranian people, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Irano pas migirim, we will take Iran back.
There are literally thousands of these videos by Iranian people. I just read a report where Crown Prince MBS and some other Arab leaders have urged Donald Trump not to intervene because this could have far-reaching consequences. I know what those far-reaching consequences might be. President Trump yesterday or the day before said that moving on, any country that deals with Iran will have to pay 25% tariffs to the United States when doing business with the United States. This is bad news for China because, as I said, China has been exploiting Iran. They've been getting very cheap oil at break-even cost from Iran. Saudi Arabia and Russia and all these countries actually want Iran to remain poor because if Iran is liberated, let's say Iran becomes a modern secular liberal democracy, then the West will do business with Iran. We'll buy oil from Iran. That will significantly lower oil prices all around the world. That is bad news for Putin. That's bad news for China. That's bad news for all these authoritarian countries, but good news for us. Trump has said many times that he wants to see a drop in oil prices. That's amazing for us. Another aligned interest with the people of Iran. So as I said, this is not just charity, guys. This is in America's interest. Forget about these idiots. Forget about these fucking lefties on social media like Cenk Uygur, the comic Dave Smith. And I was reading that tweet from that Nick Fiontes guy. He was saying, oh, no, 12,000 people have died. How do you know? How do you know? Who are you? Just like there is Trump derangement syndrome, these guys have Israel derangement syndrome. No matter what happens anywhere in the world, even in Venezuela, they were saying, this is Netanyahu's doing. But in this case, it is in Israel's interest. If the Islamic regime falls, it is in Israel's interest, and I don't see anything wrong with that. It's in the interest of Australia, it's in the interest of Europe, it's in the interest of every free country. We want Iran to be free and secular and liberal and democratic. It's in our interest. We don't make any apologies for it. And when the revolution succeeds, which I believe it, in my heart, it is going to happen, probably this time around, and even if not this time around, then these protests are going to happen again. They've been happening every 2 years for the last 15 years or so. So they're going to happen again. And with each set of protests, this regime gets significantly weakened. So this is going to happen. This is a dying regime. This is in a downward spiral. It's falling down. But when this happens, these people, these regime officials are going to try to seek refuge in Western countries. And we have these pathetic lefty governments who will welcome them with open arms. We cannot allow that. Raza Pahlavi has said that they're going to Nuremberg-style trials. There will be no witch hunting. There will be no revenge killings. On a lower level, there would probably be pardons. Okay, but top regime officials, they will be arrested. They will face justice, like Khamenei, like that Maduro guy, or whatever his name is. He's the Islamic regime's Goebbels. They will face justice. That is going to happen. But at that time, we must not allow a single refugee from Iran. Okay. The West's trunk is not for Iran's junk, okay? We cannot take any more refugees. And when we see this successful revolution, then we also need to do something about the Islamists in our own countries. This is an unholy alliance between the left and the Islamists. We cannot allow it to flourish. Iran suffered. It's a lesson for every one of us. No matter what happens, you never trust an Islamist. I know we trusted Jolani, which I criticized at the time. I don't think Trump should have ever invited him to the White House. But we'll talk about it some other time. But you cannot trust an Islamist. I would rather shake a hand with an alien than with an Islamist. Islamists can never be trusted. So the people of Iran need our help right now. And one more thing I want to say. As an ex-Muslim, when the ex-Muslim movement started back in 2005 by Mariam Namazi, coincidentally an Iranian who was also a victim of the Islamic regime, her family fled Iran after the Islamic Revolution of 1979. I don't think even she would have imagined that within 20 years, she would be able to see her country liberated from the clutches of the Islamic regime. Now, I know she's no longer that popular amongst ex-Muslims. Because she was an asylum seeker, she could never be an anti-asylum seeker, and she's also massively anti-Israel. So she's fallen out. But I think it is important to recognize her efforts because she is the mother of the ex-Muslim movement. I know she probably doesn't like me anymore. She doesn't follow me on X anymore, but I still follow her. I have nothing but love and respect for her. I don't agree with her stance on asylum seekers and on Israel, but she started this movement. She planted the seeds of this rebellion that has now become a big fat tree. So as an ex-Muslim, this is a monumental achievement for us. I know I'm not an Iranian citizen, but I will be so happy. I am so happy. I'm just waiting for that moment to arrive. And we need the president of the free world, Donald Trump, to intervene now. I know they're probably trying, they're planning. It's not easy. But as an activist, I have to appeal to my audience. I know a lot of Americans, probably MAGA, has been taking interest in my videos recently. This is why I'm pleading to my American base. We need America. We need America to intervene. This is not going to be World War III. Please do not let down the Iranian people. They are naming their streets after Donald Trump. They're literally crying out his name. President Trump, please help us. And these protests might not have gone on for 17 or 18 days had it not been for the encouraging tweets by President Trump. President Trump said that I've got your back. I'm watching this very carefully and I will intervene. Now is the time. And I know he will intervene. I know in my heart, I know he will intervene.